Hi, in this video I'm going to tell you about psychic readings and the truth behind psychic readings, if they work and how they work. And I'm actually going to tell you that psychic readings not only can predict your future, but they can also influence your future. Now pay attention to this. So some people say they work, some people say they don't work. Now the truth about psychic readings is that they do work, but in certain circumstances. First of all, like I always say in my events and in my seminars, there is no set up future. There are multiple probable futures and outcomes ahead of you. What all readers do using different tools, whether they're using their mediumship abilities or tarot cards or something combined, or they're using coffee reading, whatever they use, whatever tools, they all do the same thing when they do a reading. They assess your present energy, and that is telling them where your future or the outcome lies, what is the most probable outcome, depending on your present energy. So this is how readings work. But obviously, if your energy changes along the way, then the outcome is also going to change. Now, that being said, that, the fact that there is no set up future, now people might think, so that means readings are just not working then, because how can they predict the future when there is no set up future? Now, readings can work if your energy doesn't change. So I'm going to give you 3 scenarios of people and cases, and to see how different these readings can work for them, how differently they can work for each case. So in the first case, let's say there is a person and they strongly believe in readings. They believe that someone has the ability to predict their future, but they don't have any outcome in mind. They're really curious, they're just open to it. And let's say they go to a fortune teller or they go to a medium and they ask, what's going to happen in my life? Am I going to have success? Am I going to get married? Blah, blah, blah. And the fortune teller or the medium or psychic, they're telling them, you're going to have 3 children, you're going to die at 80 years old, these sort of things. And the person believes strongly that the other person, the medium or the psychic in front of them, can actually see what is ahead. So what they do, they are accepting what the person says without questioning it, without judgment. So it goes straight to their subconscious. And when they leave there, they just let it go and they're saying, okay, so this is my future. So that information goes straight to their subconscious. Therefore, it reinforces whatever energy that medium or psychic has already seen in their aura. So that future is very probable to manifest for them. In 90% of cases, this sort of people have the outcome predicted by the psychic or the medium. Also, the funny thing is that if the person, or let's say the fortune teller, wasn't really accurate, let's say they weren't really spot on with reading the energy, and they just said like a future that wasn't really the most probable future, they could actually influence the future of the person in front of them, because that person accepts the information as it is, and again it goes straight to their subconscious. Once they leave there, they have accepted it and they let it go, and then that future is going to manifest, although it wasn't there before. Isn't that funny? Now, the second category of people are the ones who also believe that someone else can predict their future, because let's say they believe in energy, they have a bit of knowledge about, the quantum universe, and that these things are possible. So they believe that there is a person who can actually see the future for them. But at the same time, they have a very specific outcome that they want answers for. So they go with this outcome in mind, and they're like, am I going to get this? Am I not going to get this? How is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? So they're very, very specific, and they have this very specific outcome in their minds. So when the psychic, the fortune teller, the medium, tells them, yes, your outcome is going to happen, and it's going to happen in this way, and just trust, because I can see this happening on the timeline ahead of you. This is going to happen in 3 months from now, and yes, it's going to be good and all that. So then the person is really excited because they believe in this and they have their hopes up and they're thinking, this is it, they have seen it happening for me. But then they create all this resistant energy or the phenomena that people call resistance. And again, the irony is that the reading actually influences their future. So because now they have high expectations and they're always waiting for that outcome to happen, they're pushing it further away and it doesn't happen. Now, the third category of people are the people who actually know quite a lot about energy and they work already with energy. So in some way or another, they use the law of attraction. They use rituals and magic and spells, and they work with their consciousness, and they know the power of positivity about it, and they meditate. So, and they are aware that there is no set up future. So these people are usually spiritualists, healers, or people who are just very aware and on a self-development path. The energy of these people is very fluid. Therefore, these people are very hard to read because their future always changes. And experienced and very good psychics and mediums are actually going to tell you that if you're one of these people, they're going to say, you are changing the outcome, you're changing the future, or they're going to say, I can't see clearly ahead, because your energy is still not fully set up when it comes to a specific outcome. So for the third category of people, it is very hard to predict a set up future. So they're very different from the first category of people who just accept things as they are when someone is telling them that outcome or the future. They don't really change their energy too much. They're very stable in their own ways of thinking and feeling and acting. So for the first category of people, psychic readings definitely work. They work in the sense that they predict the most probable outcome. But even if the psychic is rubbish and they can't actually see the probable outcome, they can influence the outcome of that person. So with this last category, it is completely different. So people can't really see clearly with the third category. They can't see clearly their future, their outcomes, and even if a medium or psychic, they're telling them, this is what I'm seeing, that is, let's say, maybe 60% true, because the energy is changing and it can change very fast from one day to the next. So this being said, now you can understand if these readings work and in what circumstances and for what cases the readings are actually, accurate. So would you want to have psychic readings after knowing all this, knowing that there is no set up future, that readings can actually influence your future from coming to you, either accelerate it or push it further away, or creating even a future for you? Now, I would say that now you are aware of this information, you can go to readings, and knowing that there is no set up future for you, you can just accept the information as it is. Because readings can tell you the most probable future. But, knowing the most probable future can help you, of course, change your future if you don't want to get there. So it's not like you're going to someone like a fortune teller or a psychic reader and they're going to tell you, this is going to happen to you and this is it. This is what I'm seeing. There is no change in that. This is rubbish. This is not the way things work. So a psychic reader is a very helpful person to see when you want to assess your own energy. Therefore, I do believe that readings are useful. I believe that psychic readings are useful. And I personally do readings for myself when I want to assess my own energy. And I'm not taking the information 100% as true, but I can know what energy I'm holding right now and where it's going to take me in the next few months, in the next 6 months, in the next year. And you can also ask advice from your reader, like say, what can I do to change this outcome? What can I do to improve this situation? What can I do to attract this outcome faster into my life? So I do believe that going with the right approach and having all this information in mind about how readings work can make psychic readings extremely useful for you. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope it has opened your eyes to what psychic readings are and how they can help you. Thank you.